It's not a coincidence, it's not luck, and it definitely isn't because you're antisocial. It's because you've been attending gatherings where no one is truly present, including you. Every time you leave a social meeting feeling drained, it's not because you gave too much of yourself, it's because you've been performing a role for hours. You smiled when you didn't want to, nodded at conversations you didn't care about, pretended to be interested in stories you'll forget in 5 minutes. And all that mental theater consumes more energy than running a marathon because you're not using your legs, you're spending your essence to maintain a mask that isn't even yours. The uncomfortable truth is this: most social interactions are not encounters between human beings. They are clashes of egos disguised as conversation. Two people speaking, but neither listening. Two minds competing for a spotlight, each waiting for its turn to talk about itself. And you're there, trapped in the middle, feeling your energy leak through the cracks of an exchange that was never real. Have you noticed, when you get home after those meetings, what you feel is not physical fatigue, it's existential emptiness. It's the sensation of having been in a place for hours without ever actually being there. Eckhart Tolle expressed it with brutal clarity. Most people are not present. They are lost in their thoughts, in their mental stories, in their constant need for validation. And when two absences meet, no true connection is possible, only a superficial exchange of empty words. That's why you get exhausted. It's not the people, it's the absence of presence. It's the invisible weight of holding conversations where nobody is truly there. Every word you say without feeling, every gesture you make without intention, every forced laugh, all of it drains your vital energy because you're acting on autopilot. An autopilot runs on borrowed fuel, not your own. Now think about those other meetings, the ones that energize you. What's different about them? It's not the place, it's not the number of people, it's not even the topic. It's the presence. It's that rare and precious moment when someone actually looks into your eyes and sees you. Not your facade, not your social role, but you. When that happens, something shifts. Time slows down, words gain weight, the space between you and that person disappears. And that's where the magic lies. True human connection doesn't consume energy, it generates it. Because when two presences meet, there's no depletion, there's amplification. It's like two streams merging into a more powerful river. But here comes the part no one wants to admit. You too have been guilty of being absent. How many times have you been in a conversation while your mind was somewhere else, planning what you'll say next, judging what the other person is saying, waiting for them to finish so you can speak? That's the trap. We think we're participating, but in reality, we're running a mental program we learned years ago. How to behave in society, what to say to please, how to avoid awkward silence. And that program is an energy vampire because it requires constant effort to maintain the illusion that you're there when in reality you're lost in your head. Society trained you for this. Since you were a child, you were taught that you must be pleasant, that you must fit in, that silence is something that must be filled. So you learned to fill space with noise, with words without substance, with automatic gestures. And now, decades later, you wonder why a simple dinner with friends leaves you exhausted. The answer is simple. You weren't actually having dinner, you were performing. And performing for hours is exhausting, especially when the script is boring and the role doesn't even suit you. Tolle talks about the pain body, that accumulation of emotional suffering we all carry inside. When you meet with people who live from their pain body, from their stories of victimhood, their need for drama and conflict, your own energy is absorbed by that vortex. It's not that you're weak, it's that accumulated negativity, is like an emotional black hole that sucks everything around it. That's why certain people exhaust you just by being near them. It's not their physical presence, it's the emotional density they carry, the heaviness of minds trapped in loops of toxic thought. And here's what will make you uncomfortable. You carry your own pain body as well. You also arrive at social gatherings with your mental stories, with your fears disguised as opinions, with your need to be seen a certain way. When two pain bodies meet, they feed each other. It's an unconscious dance of shared suffering, where each seeks validation for their personal story. That's why you end up drained. You're not sharing life, you're sharing pain, and pain never generates energy, it only consumes it. But there is another way. There is the possibility of attending social gatherings from a completely different place, pure presence, no agenda, no need to impress, no search for validation, simply being there, fully available to the present moment. When you do this, something extraordinary happens. The conversation flows naturally because you aren't forcing it. Silence stops being uncomfortable because there is nothing to fill, and the people around you begin to relax because they sense they don't need to perform for you. They can simply be. This is the difference between interactions that drain and interactions that nourish. The former are based on ego, the need to be seen, to be right, to be interesting, to maintain an image. The latter are based on presence, the simple act of being fully here, without agenda, without expectations, without needing the moment to be anything other than what it is. And when you live from that place, energy isn't spent, it multiplies, because presence doesn't consume, presence creates. Tolle says something that should be engraved in everyone's mind. You are not your thoughts, you are not your personal story, you are not the image you project to the world. You are the awareness that observes all of that. And when you understand this, social gatherings stop being ego battlegrounds and become opportunities to connect from a deeper place. It no longer matters whether the conversation is deep or superficial, whether people understand you or not, whether you fit in or not. All that loses relevance because you found something more valuable, the peace of being present with yourself, no matter where you are or who you're with. But let's be honest, most people don't want this. Most prefer to continue the theater because it gives a sense of control. If I can control what they think of me, if I can maintain my image, if I can avoid being seen as vulnerable, then I'm safe. A lie. That control is an illusion that is slowly killing you. Every time you prioritize image over truth, you drift a little further away from yourself. And eventually, you reach a point where you no longer know who you are without the mask. Here's the question you should ask yourself. When was the last time you were in a conversation without mentally planning your next response? When was the last time you truly listened to someone without judging, without comparing, without waiting for your turn to speak? If you can't remember, then you've never actually been present in a social interaction. You've been running the program, following the script, acting the part, and that's why you're exhausted, because true energy only flows in presence, and you've been absent the whole time. The meetings that energize you are the ones where, even for a fleeting moment, you manage to step out of your mental cycle. When someone says something that genuinely resonates with you, and for a second you stop thinking and simply feel. When there is a genuine laugh that arises effortlessly. When you look at someone and recognize something in them that also lives in you, something beyond personal stories, beyond social roles, those moments are pure gold because they contain truth, and truth never drains, it always revitalizes. But those moments are rare because we live in a society addicted to thought. Everyone is in their head all the time, processing, analyzing, judging, comparing. No one is really here, and when you realize this, you have two options. You can continue participating in that game and keep exhausting yourself, or you can choose to be different. You can decide that the next time you're in a social gathering, you will be completely present, regardless of whether others are or not. Tolle calls it being the presence in the midst of unconsciousness. It's not about becoming a hermit, it's about learning to be with people without losing yourself in the process. And this is an art, not a technique. You cannot fake presence. You are either present or you aren't. And when you truly are, people feel it. They may not know what they're feeling, but they feel something different in you. A calmness, a steadiness, an absence of need. And that is magnetic because it is so rare in a world where everyone is desperate to be something they are not. True exhaustion doesn't come from giving too much. It comes from not giving anything real. When you maintain superficial conversations for hours, you aren't giving yourself, you're giving a performance. And performances are exhausting because they require constant effort to sustain the illusion. In contrast, when you speak from an authentic place, even a brief conversation leaves you full of life because you've shared something real, something with weight, something that matters. So the next time you feel drained after a social event, don't blame the people, don't blame the place, don't blame the circumstances. Ask yourself, was I truly present or was I performing? Did I genuinely listen or did I just wait for my turn to speak? Did I allow silence or did I fill it with noise? These questions are a mirror, and the mirror always reflects the truth. And here comes the liberating part. When you realize that your exhaustion is the result of your own absence, you regain your power. You are no longer a victim of circumstances. You are the creator of your experience. You can choose to be present or not. You can choose to connect or to act. You can choose to be real or to be acceptable. And every choice has consequences. One fills you with life, the other slowly empties you. Society will sell you 1,000 reasons to keep acting. It will tell you it's necessary for success, for relationships, for fitting in. But it will never tell you the price, the loss of yourself. Because when you live by playing a role, eventually you forget it's just a role. You merge with it. And when that happens, you lose connection with the only real source of energy that exists, your own presence. Tolle says it bluntly, the ego lives in time, always concerned with the past or the future. Presence lives in the now, and the now is the only reality. When you are in a social gathering lost in thoughts about what you said 10 minutes ago or what you will say in 5, you are not really there. And if you're not there, how do you expect to feel alive? Life only happens in the present, and if you are absent from the present, you are absent from life. That's why some meetings energize you, because in them, even if only for moments, you manage to be completely present. And presence is pure energy. It doesn't require effort, it doesn't require maintenance, it simply is. And when you experience it, you realize that all the exhaustion you felt for years wasn't inevitable. It was the result of living from the ego instead of living from presence. The final question is this: are you going to keep exhausting yourself in empty interactions, or are you going to learn to be present? Because here is the brutal truth: no one can be present for you. It is your choice, your responsibility, your path. And the sooner you understand this, the sooner you will stop being a slave to social theater and become a complete human being, capable of truly connecting, truly feeling, truly living.